Hello and welcome. My name's Neil and my handle is Wiley11. And let me start by saying that everything I do and say on these videos, I accept no liability whatsoever. So if you're following along trying to do something or take some of the advice I've offered, you do so entirely at your own risk. This is my attempt to give back to YouTube for the help and assistance that YouTube has given me, and I'm trying to be careful. If I slip up, then, you know, I'm human, and you'll have to forgive me for that. So, yeah, that's what this is. This is well-intentioned and well-meaning advice, and you follow along entirely at your own risk. And if you're not wanting to do that, then by all means click this off and off you go. Thanks for tuning in.
Morning and welcome. This is another one of my lifestyle series videos. I want to talk to you about dieting. Now, I struggle with this. I am used to good food. I cook, and I cook, I cook the way my grandma taught me to cook, which is with, lots and lots of fat. And I like the taste of what I cook. Let's be honest, with me, it's either triumph or a tragedy, right? It's never in the middle. It's either yum or the dog goes, "You're kidding, right?" I've had ones I've chucked to the dog and he's gone, "What the hell is this?" He doesn't want to touch it. It's bad, I'll tell you, when the dog doesn't want it. No, I've done that. Yeah. So I just want to talk to you about things you can do. Now, there's lots of online help for dieting. And there's lots of paid for help, and there's lots of help. There's lots and lots and lots. It's a multi-billion dollar industry. And there's the Jenny Craigs. Now, let me tell you, I did Jenny Craig. It worked. I got from 165 kilos down to about 90 kilos, and I stuck religiously to it because I was paying through the nose for it. And it got me down to 90 kilos, and I nearly died. I had to start eating because, I was almost to a point where I felt I was, it wasn't good. So I ate again, and I put, like, within, 3 years, man, off that program, I took most of that weight back. I went up to about 135, 140 kilos. And I'm a big boy. I like my food, I like my steaks and whatnot. And you got to eat protein. You got to eat it, right? You can't survive without it. Now, what I chose to do was go see my doctor, okay? Because part of the management of my issue with my aneurysm, and I do have a coil and stent in my brain. I actually did die on the operating table, and I've got a wonderful team of doctors that looked after me, and now I've got a wonderful GP who keeps me honest, and I like that about him. He gets on my case if I do the wrong thing, and he knows, because he's only got to look at the scale to say, yeah, that's no, you fell off the wagon, didn't you? And I do. I fall off the wagon. But I can't go beyond the limits of me, okay? I can't do that. If I push too hard, I just go all funny. And I can't function properly. So I've got to stay within my own limits. And you do too. You need to work within your limits. And you'll know what that is. I'm just going to pause this for a minute. Right, I screwed that up. I managed to stop the video. What this is, my nutritionist, I have a nutritionist, gave me this. Now, I see my nutritionist once a quarter, and that's part of my care. I'm on a care plan through the doctor, He said he downloaded this from the internet. Okay. Now this list, there's a big disclaimer and all sorts of stuff, right? But you can download that off the internet. And if you incorporate these things in your diet, right, they're things that you can eat that don't put on a lot of weight. And there's lots of good things in there. Like there's artichoke. Now I like artichoke. If you work out the recipes that you can cook with that, bean sprouts, love them. Broccoli, love it. Cabbage, yeah, okay. Everyone eats that. Capsicum, I love capsicum. Chinese cabbage, bok choy, beautiful stuff. Eggplant, best thing ever. If you haven't done eggplant chips, get into some eggplant chips, right? Kale, yeah, okay. Lettuce, love lettuce. Okra, shallots, I like shallots. I like them chopped real fine, you know, and put onto things. Snow peas, oh, fresh snow peas, yum. Squash, yeah. Watercress, love. Bok choy is even in there. Button squash, yeah, okay. Cauliflower, choco, love choco. That's good stuff, and we can even grow that. Mushrooms, oh, mushrooms. Free food, mushrooms. Now, all of those things, I mean, I can cook up a feed of mushrooms. No worries. I can fry them up in extra virgin olive oil, okay? And you got to look for the heart safe butters and things, right? So we use a thing called Nuttelex, and it's low cholesterol, high heart health, and has a very good write-up, right? It's a margarine, it's not a butter. But if I use a tablespoon of that in place of a tablespoon of butter, I'm saving about 1,000 calories, right? And it's those things that add up at the end of the day. So start with the butter. Start going through the supermarket, read the label on your butters, and pick one that you don't mind. You know, like for us it was Nuttelex. I'm not telling you to buy it, but pick the one that works for you. You know, and buy it in bulk, so that you get a price saving if you buy a bit of bulk and you can chuck some in the freezer. You know. And then get into the habit of cooking yourself up a feed of mushrooms with like half a tablespoon of butter in there, cracked black pepper, and just extra virgin olive oil. Job done. You need extra virgin olive oil because it's the best one, right? And you make sure you get the best one. You don't skimp on that. Go through and find that free foods list on the internet. I don't know where it is, but go find it. Because I can tell you that just sticking to that list of foods, right, when I cook, I've dropped 25 kilos since I started. Now, diet is one side of weight loss. The other side of it is exercise. And once again, I can't go beyond the limits of me. So, I took up walking. Now, if you walk up and down stairs any number of times during a day, and at the top of the stairs, or even at the bottom of the stairs, you're out of breath, then just doing that is good for you. Okay? So, I don't know, maybe you live on the 10th floor of your building and you catch the lift up. Well, once or twice, try walking up the stairs. And do that once a day. That'll do you. That'll work. That'll get you going. Once a day, just walk up the stairs. That'll do. It might kill you the first couple of days. I mean, it probably will kill you. And it nearly killed me to do more walks. But the best walking is flat. If you've got like a beach and you can do a 2 kilometre beach walk, do that. There's an equation for burning calories walking, which is a really good equation, and it's very good for your heart, your circulation. Now what I do is I do a bushwalk. So there's a place where we can go. It's a nature reserve, and you can see kangaroos and koala bears, and it's flat. It's completely flat, and it's 8 kilometres. And I have a mate that loves bushwalking, and together he and I go do a bushwalk once a week. I've got to admit, I've been a bit lapsed over the last month. I haven't done them because I've been feeling a bit crook. And when I feel crook, I don't do big walks. I only do small walks. But I do walk. Leonie and I did a beach walk. It was only like a 4 kilometre beach walk the other day. And we walked up the beach, and we took we parked Zoomy up. We went up on Zoomy, parked him up, and then we walked from where we parked him up the beach to the shops. And then I walked back to Zoomy and grabbed him and rode him up to the shops, So for me, that was like 6 kilometres or something, at the end, because I walked up on the beach and then I walked back on the pathway, and it was quicker on the path than the beach. But see, if you just get yourself into this mindset, if your bathroom scales are at a number, and you've got to be honest with yourself, if you don't like the look of the number, then you've got to make decisions to change your life. And that decision might be, I can't do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Right? I can't do it. You know you can't do it, but do it anyway. Make good decisions. The benefits that come from making good decisions, you know yourself. And it's a decision. It's a commitment. So the reason I'm doing this lifestyle thing about diet and exercise, and this is part 1 of this. Right now I'm 110 kilos. That's no good. It's too much. My doctor's been on me about my cholesterol, and he put me on cholesterol tablets. And I said, I don't want to be on cholesterol tablets. I'm on enough tablets. I have to take a tablet for my blood pressure, and I have to take a tablet to thin my blood for this, right, which was just aspirin, thankfully. So I'm on blood pressure and aspirin. But so I'm dependent on those things. I need those things to survive. And if I don't take them, I go, like if I miss one, I feel it the next day for sure. And I know I've missed a tablet, and I've got to go back and take a tablet. But you got to make good decisions. You got to say that, and I can't do that, right? And I can't, but do it anyway. If you get up and you look out the window, and today it's a beautiful day, right? And if today's my bushwalking day, and I got up and I looked out the window and it's pissing down rain or snow or whatever it is, you can't let that stop you. That's your bushwalking day. You got to go do your bushwalk. You got to go. I can't do that, but do it anyway, right? If you decide to climb the stairs, right, and it's freezing, but I can't go out in that cold. I'll catch cold. Rug yourself up and do it anyway. If you got a dog, they love walks, right? Take the dog. If you got a cat, they hate walks. Kill the cat, get a dog. No, don't kill your cat. I like animals. I love animals, and they love me. Cats tend to take over places, and they're a bit snooty and whatnot, but I can't help it. I just love animals, and that's something you'll like. Actually, people that like animals, they're usually really well liked by other people, and they're usually well liked by animals, and they usually do better on their social sides and social skills. That's just an aside. So let's talk about the diet. Now, what I did when I went through that list, and there are online places where you can get the calorie or kilojoule count. Now they do things in kilojoules rather than calories. Get the kilojoule count. Now for me, for my weight, my energy intake was 8,300 kilojoules a day or something. It was some number like that. I should look this up on my laptop. And what I'm now going to do is I'm going to call up my diet planner that I did using that list of foods, and that I started to stick to and then rapidly fell away from, but try to keep to as much as I can. Right, so let's do that. I'm just going to stop this. I'm going to start the screen capture one. Right, so we're recording sound. Okay. Now, what this is my diet planner. So here you can see I've got 7 days going across, 5 days. Okay. This is not my final planner, but you'll get the idea. And I set up my target, and for me, this target was 7,000 kilojoules. It ended up being 8,000 kilojoules, but I was attempting to get a lot of weight off. And so I thought, because it's 8,000, I'd do 7,000. Dumb. Because what happened was I fell off the diet. I was just hungry. If it's $8,000, if that's what the dietitian recommends, stay with whatever the dietitian recommends. But for my weight at 110 kilos, it's 8,000 kilojoules, right? And there's a chart somewhere that tells you. It's free. It's on the internet. I think there's a thing called Gut Busters, and they do good things. So it's on the internet. And there's lots of free information with that organisation. And if they ask you for a donation, by all means, give it to them, because they do good things. But I got this information just off of a kilojoule search. You know, how many calories are in such and such, or how many kilojoules are in such and such. You Google that and it'll come up and tell you. So here was what I came up with. So day one, I'm eating so I've got skim milk in here. I've got a banana, low-fat yogurt, kilojoules for serve. And so over here for brekkie, I've got 1,800, right? And these snacks, right? These are optional snacks in there, but there's 260 kilojoules there. I've got a tin of tuna, right? So you can go in the supermarket and you buy those dollar tins, right? And they're 45 gram tins, and they've got nearly 500 kilojoules in them, right? And they're good. They're good for you. Tuna's great for you. And so here I've got, you know, I was having it on these corn cruscets, which are the round discs of corn. So I've got cottage cheese, I've got cruscets, tomato, lettuce, mushroom. Here they are, mushrooms, 21. Look at that. And I could put as many mushrooms on there as I liked, and you know, but a full one sliced up was only 20 kilojoules, and a cup of tea, right? So I've got 1,100 in there. For dinner, I'm doing chops and mash, right? So I'm doing a lamb chop, boiled potato. I've got carrots, cabbage, peas, half a teaspoon of margarine. Look, half a teaspoon is 59 kilojoules. Look at that. Now, if that was butter, that'd be 500 kilojoules. Skim milk. Here I've got the cruscets, ice cakes. So I allowed myself like a jam on one of those crusket biscuits, and hot chocolate. And then I had this little cheat box, you know, like I had 1,100 kilo, and I could have any of these things during the day that I wanted. So I got a Mars bar, right? A full-size caramel latte. So if I wanted to have a caramel latte, right, there's always 1,300 kilojoules in that. So if I had a cup of coffee during the day, I was done, you know? That was it. That was my cheat box. So what's left over is 1,100. So here, see, it's 7,000. But what I was doing was having a couple of these things. So I can have even a stubby or a light beer, 400 kilojoules in just a stubby of beer. We call them stubbies here. I don't know what you call them over there, but just a bottle of beer. Just a handheld bottle of beer, yeah. Mars bar, 1,000 kilojoules just in a little Mars bar like that. But I can have one of those. Have a look at potato chips, 3,000 kilojoules in a 300. If you're eating potato chips, get rid of them out of your life. You don't need them. Don't eat potato chips. Righto. Every time you walk for 20 minutes on flat ground is 100 kilojoules. Yeah, there it is, right there. Exercise target. Right, I'm back. So what I was doing there was reading off exercise target. Walk 1 kilometre, 20 minutes on flat ground is 100 kilojoules. That's how much you burn. Vacuum a lounge room, 45 minutes, 600 kilojoules just vacuuming your lounge. You could have the cleanest apartment in the city, right? You could vacuum every room in your apartment every day and burn over 1,000 kilojoules. Wash the car, inside and out, 700 kilojoules. That's how much you burn just washing your car. And I'm talking about not with these ones, I'm talking about getting in there and scrubbing it. I don't know, you got to work out exercise that, if you've cheated, you've got to burn that back out. And if that means that, I ate a bag of crisps, well, that was 3,000 kilojoules, right? I ate a bag of crisps, a bag of potato chips. That's 3,000 kilojoules if you eat that thing. Righto. So you cheated, yep, you know it. But 3,000 is 5 rooms. So if I scrub 5 rooms in the house within an inch of their lives, mop the floor, vacuum it, clean it, whatever, that's 5 rooms. It's only 3,000 back. I got it back. But you got to think of the effort it took you just for that one bag of crisps, and you got to think, shit, was that bag of crisps worth it? And some of you are going, yeah. I'm going, nah. 1 kilometre is worth 100 joules. So 5 kilometres, sorry, 10 kilometres is a 10 kilometre walk on flat ground is 1,000 kilojoules, right? 1,000. So that bag of crisps is a 30 kilometre walk. Is that bag of crisps still worth it? Nah. You see what I'm saying? You're going to make good decisions. And you know you can't do it, but you can. Just do it anyway. Alright. Well, that's enough for part 1. I've talked to you about diet and exercise. Go and get those lists. Set up a diet plan, like I've done. Now, if you want, I might post this daily target of 7,000 kilojoule one up. Now, this is for a person who's like 100 kilos. So if you're 100 kilos, then you've got to be taking in at least 7,000 kilojoules of energy a day. 7,000. And for me at 110, I'm 8,000 kilojoules. So I don't know where it cuts off, but there's a point where it cuts off. That the minimum, I think, is 5,000 kilojoules, minimum, any person. So if you're not taking in 5,000 kilojoules a day, you're basically doing something wrong. I can get myself into hot water here, but I could use the word anorexic. But I'm not going to suggest that anyone's anorexic, okay? But you might need to look at that. You might need to, denial is terrible, and I don't want to see anyone hurt themselves. But just take your time do it at your pace and do what's comfortable. And if that's just walking up and down the stairs, and if you only live on the second floor, walk up and down them 10 times. You know, there's 20 flights of stairs. What would that be, you reckon? Our flat ground walking is a kilometre, is 100. Now you're walking up a flight of stairs, so the steps are inclined at around about 35-degree angle. So you're walking up and down at 35 degrees. We could work this out as maths. What's the hypotenuse worth? I might just do it real quick. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do a bit of maths. Just give me a second here. So let's say you're walking 10 metres, right? So it's 100. So what's the square root of 200? It's going to be about 15. Right, over. Okay, so it's about a third. Righto, so it's roughly a third, because they're on a 30-degree angle, it's roughly a third. You're 9.8 metres per second squared times a third. It's 3 metres a second. So if it takes you 10 seconds, it's 30 metres. Alright, so 40. So a flight of stairs is equivalent of walking 40 metres on flat ground. Real rough maths, real rough. Righto, so a kilometre, God, the maths is getting terrible. But hang on, there's an exponential component. There is an exponential component in that. So for the first flight, it's a third. For the second flight, it's a third plus a third. For the third plus 2/3, 3/3. You know, so it's, for every three that you do, you gain one. Does that make sense? For every 3 flights of stairs, you gain 1 flight of stairs. So it's the equivalent of 4. Right. So let's work it out. So 10 tens is 100. Times 3 is 300, which is 400. So for every 10, you walked half a kilometre. Okay, so 10 flights of stairs is the equivalent of half a kilometre, right? That's just rough maths. It's the equivalent of half a kilometre. That's real rough maths, dead reckoning sort of thing. Now, every half kilometre you walk, you gain a third. It's getting more because there's an exponential component in there, right? You're doing these ones. So there's an exponential component in that mass. That's the third. So let's call it 600 metres. There's 600 metres for 10. 10 flights of stairs is 600 metres. That's close enough for my reckoning. Okay, so a kilometre was what? 100. So it's 60 kilojoules. There's something wrong with the maths. I'm out by a factor of 10. I'm pretty sure it's 600 kilojoules. I'm pretty sure I'm out by a factor of 10 somewhere. My maths is sucking this morning, I can tell you. I'm out by a factor of 10, I'm sure. 10 by 10. I'm out by a factor of 10. So 600 kilojoules, 10 flights of stairs. Yeah. You burn 600 kilojoules. That's the equivalent of vacuuming your lounge room. There you go. So 10 flights of stairs is the equivalent of vacuuming your lounge room. All right, so there you go. That ready reckoning dumb maths sounds about right. You know, that sounds about right to me. And it's good for you. Get your heart. You got to get your heart rate up, and you got to get your circulation going. Your blood pumping through everything. And if you're sweating, then you're spending like you've got to be sweating. If you're not sweating, you're not doing enough exercise to make it all happen correctly. You got to overheat. You got to get everything going. Okay, I'm going to sign this off. That's the end of part 1, and I'll see you guys for part 2, which will be setting up the plan. Let's call that. And so this was talking about what you can do. Now in part 2, I'm actually going to show you how to set up your daily target and set your goals and actually do what you said you're going to do, which was you made a decision, you committed to yourself. The worst promises you'll ever break are the ones you make to yourself. Don't ever break a promise you made to yourself. Like if you made a decision, commit to it, do it. And I'll see you at the next one. Thanks for watching.